welcome aboard.
Thank you. We're going to get them, Mark.
Yeah, that's the game plan. That is the game plan. Hey, I'm Mark Romanack. Welcome to another episode of Fishing 411. This week's episode, we're near Niagara Falls, New York, targeting one of the best spring trout and salmon fisheries in North America. Stick around because we've got a special guest coming on board today.
Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, your leader in trolling technology. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, your leader in trolling technology. Jay's Sporting Goods, trust in the tradition. Yakima Bait, home of the rooster tail. Cisco Fishing Systems, fish the finest. Northwest Ontario Tourism Association, there's no place like this. Starcraft Marine, America's oldest aluminum fishing boat line. Evinrude Outboards, introducing the all-new Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard of the future, available today. Maxima Fishing Lines, the right line every time. Also, these fine sponsors.
Well, we're starting in skinny water, and when I mean skinny, I mean real skinny, like about anywhere from 5 to 15 foot of water. And because we're going to be starting shallow, planer boards are going to be obviously the best way to go to get our presentations out and away from the boat. So we're going to be starting with everything on planer boards, and we're going to mix up our baits a little bit. We're going to use some traditional stuff, some stick baits, and we're also going to use some minnow divers and some wobbling divers like this mag lips that I've got in my hand here. And we'll let the fish kind of decide what's going to happen, but ideally the water's cold, so we're going to be going slow, putting everything on planer boards and getting it out to the side. You know, what we're doing here is basically classic spring trout and salmon fishing. The water's really cold, so we're going slow. 1.5 to maybe 2 miles an hour will be about the fastest we go. We're in shallow water, and the reason we're here is because it's the warmest available water, and it's not exactly warm, but it's warmer than the main lake. And so the fish are concentrated here. There's river mouths that are pouring in, they're dumping in warmer water, nutrient-rich water, and that's where the smelt are at. And of course, that's where the brown trout, the lake trout, the steelhead, and the cohos, and maybe if we're lucky, some king salmon will show up in here as well. And the only practical way to fish this water is with planer boards to get things out away from the boat, because otherwise the boat itself is spooking fish before you ever have a chance to catch them. So we can't use sonar to find these fish. We got to go in there and do it the old-fashioned way, put lines out, troll around until we find a pocket of fish, and then once we find a pocket of fish, it's game on. The primary reason why it's hard to find fish with sonar in skinny water, shallow water, is because the presence of the boat will spook the fish before the boat even gets over top of them. You know, most of the time we're positioning the boat in 10 to 15 foot of water. Just the boat presence displacing the water is going to spook those fish. Now the planer board's out on the side, and we're contacting fish that have no clue that we're here. And that's why the planer boards work so well, is they simply contact fish that don't know we're here, so we haven't spooked them. The fish under the boat and directly behind the boat have probably already been spooked. Well, it's breaking the ice here, and that's an important thing.
Yeah.
When that gets a little closer, Buzz, I'll have you back up a little bit, and I'll help you see if I can't get that planer board off there for you.
Yeah.
And,
so you just leave these boards in line, and then you just unsnap them with
exactly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take it off quick, and I'll let you reel right down to the fish. And then maybe I'll think about a landing net here.
Yeah.
What's the deal here, huh? You get a little rod bend going on. Oh, it's not a very big fish, that's it. So you know what?
Yeah. I didn't know if it was the water was.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut in front of you here. I won't be able to reach out there and get him. Looks like a little brown. Looks like a little brown trout. Exactly, look at that. He just popped off right in the landing net, which is perfect.
And this is a pretty nice brown. I mean, if you were trout fishing or, you know, in a lake or something, small lake, this would be a dandy. But here on Lake Ontario, I keep hearing about all the big browns. And this is not big for here, but it's sure a fat one. Okay, we're gonna let this one go. Let him grow up a little bigger even.
This week's guest was Buzz Ramsey from Yakima Bait. Those of you who follow trout and salmon fishing undoubtedly have heard of Buzz before. He's a legend in trout fishing and salmon fishing. It was really a pleasure to have him on board today, and it made for a great day on the water.
Additional considerations provided by Argo Amphibious ATV, Extreme Terrain Vehicle Solutions. Additional considerations provided by Ontario's Algoma Country, That Real.
All right,
Okay.
Buzz, we got a fish in that outside line.
Oh boy, another one.
Let's see if I can clear this one here for you in the meantime.
Take that clicker off.
Yeah, those clickers are handy for setting lines, but they'll about drive you insane
Yeah.
listening to them.
This doesn't feel like a monster either.
No,
but-
I'm afraid not. I watched the board go back, and it was a nice, slow, steady pullback, so that tells me it's
Yeah.
probably not a big fish.
The person
but,
just doesn't want to get too excited and reel too fast to rip the hooks out.
yeah, I hear you there. And no telling at this point what it might be, but it didn't jump. These cohos tend to jump a little bit. I didn't
Yeah.
see them jump, so. That board. And come to Papa, here we go. All right.
Still on there? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good sign. I think that's a stick bait again. I'm not 100% sure. Let's take a look and see here.
That looks like maybe another little brown, or maybe it's a little.
Looks like a
Coho or
little coho.
something.
Looks a little more silver, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
So around here, you never know.
Oh yeah. That's maybe a little silver.
Let me see if I can.
Little feeder.
Oh, it looks like a little coho to me, don't it? That's a beautiful fish.
Now this is a coho salmon, small silver. Whoa. Okay, baby. Small silver salmon. Nice bright. See the black mouth with the white gum line? If it were a steelhead, he'd look very similar, but it'd be a all white mouth.
Buzz, this is the size I like to eat, so I think we're going to keep this one here. Well, the setting for this week's episode is a place called Lake Ontario, and it's not very far from Niagara Falls. In fact, we are fishing in New York waters, just a little bit east of where the Niagara River actually pours into Lake Ontario.
A lot of manufacturers now make hooks that are pre-sharpened. But in case you're using a lure that doesn't have a pre-sharpened hook, or if you catch a fish, which will often dull the hook, you need to tune up the hook point or resharpen it. One of my favorite hook sharpening tools is a file. The thing about a file is it removes a lot of material in a short amount of time. So you want to hold the file fairly parallel to the hook point and file it on at least two sides until it's sticky sharp. So sharp the fish can't let go.
Buzz, we're at a bit of a crossroads. We've caught two fish, okay? Literally, the two waypoints are almost touching one another, all right? One was in the muddy water, one was in the clear water, just a little bit outside of it. But we've also trolled for a mile of shoreline without getting a bite.
Right.
So, I'm afraid to just keep tooling here looking for, a bigger school. I like to find a bigger school. So we have to decide, are we going to stay on a small school here and work them? Or are we going to go, are we going to try and cash out and go for the big school?
Take a chance, yeah.
So,
it's always a dilemma for anglers because you kind of hate to leave fish to find fish, but how many are we leaving? Maybe not too many.
I don't think we're leaving too many, in that, one pass through we got a fish, one pass through again we got a fish. One fish a pass is not all that great. I mean, when I start seeing 2-3 hookups at a time, then I'm thinking we got a school of
We're
fish.
really into them.
So I think we got some scattered fish that just happen to be in this location. So it wouldn't break my heart if we left.
Yeah.
But I want it to be your decision.
Thanks a lot.
There you go.
It's a brown. You want to reel this one in, Mark?
Oh, no, you're on it. You're on it. Let me just put this away for a second here.
Boy, look how fat that thing is.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
a brown
the
or is that
wrong brown. It's a smallmouth.
Oh, it's a smallmouth. I was
It's a
going to say,
small-
man, that's the fattest brown I've ever seen in my life. No,
I
that's
think I might have said you never know what you're going to catch here, and
You were
that's
right on that
exactly.
one. Smallmouth. Look at that thing. You bit the mag lip too.
Hit the mag lip, didn't it? Yeah, I had that glued right to the bottom, so I guess that made a little bit of sense there.
Yeah, might have. Down there in the rocks.
All right, I'm going to slip in here and see if I can put a net on this puppy.
Okay.
That's a big smallmouth, is what that is. That's
Now I want you to know, this is the first smallmouth caught on a 3.0 size mag lip.
Well, that's the new. That's the new one.
Yeah, this is the new size. We just got the first samples out of the mold before I left, and we've only glued up 2 so far. So this is 1 of 2 in existence.
Well, there you go. Well, don't lose it, because it's a winner right now.
Yeah.
Additional considerations provided by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate. Fishing 411 is also brought to you by Okuma, High Performance, and Mustang Survival. We save lives for a living.
It's a brown trout. That's a nice brown.
That's good. That's a good fish right there.
That baby is.
As soon as they feel the steel, they roll and they twist. All right, away you go. Like a rocket. You know, obviously we're trolling, but we're not trolling exactly the way most people troll. Most people either troll with their main outboard engine, or maybe they got a kicker motor like this. What we're doing is something I call 2-motor trolling, and I'm very fond of it. What I'm doing is I'm using the kicker motor as our primary power. This is providing our speed, and we're getting at 1.7, 1.8, 1.9 is what we've been doing. It's got a little adjustment here that I can tweak it up and down, so I can very finely adjust my speed to get my speed exactly where I want it. But what about 2-motor trolling? We're also using an electric motor. It's mounted on the bow, and I'm using it for navigation, to steer with. So when I need to turn around, I can do it with the electric motor. Or if I need to make minor adjustments to follow a plot trail to get back on waypoints, I use the electric motor. So the kicker's doing the lion's share of the work here as far as the speed. The electric motor is doing the control. 2-motor trolling, deadly. That's what I like to see, is those boards just rocketing back like that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, baby, stay glued on there. It's acting like he's coming towards me here. Oh, cool. Maybe, just maybe, making a move was the right decision here, huh?
It's possible.
All right. I'm thinking he might have pulled off.
No, you got him.
He's just running with me.
Maybe another little silver.
Oh, it's a little coho. That's what, and this one's on the mag lip too.
Oh, wow.
Now he wakes up, discovered that he's hooked. I'm just going to alley-oop this guy right in here. No sense with landing on that one.
He either woke up or he saw you.
Well, I got news for him. There's one just like him in the live well, and this 2 of these is just a perfect meal.
That small silver salmon that we just caught, sometimes called Coho salmon, of course, we were fishing a mag lip, a new size mag lip, a 3-inch, 3.0 mag lip, back on this planer board. And so that was the first one on this. There's only 2 of these in existence right now. And so first coho and first smallmouth on the mag lip 3.0.
Buzz, I'm not sure exactly what all is going on here, but we're getting a little bit better bite offshore here in a little deeper water, in the green water, not the darker water. So I guess we'll stick with this for the time being and see what happens.
It sounds good to me. I like it. Ooh.
Looks like maybe a brown this time.
Really?
Haven't got a good look at him yet. But he's on your mag lip again. It's turning out to be the bait of choice here today.
Oh, and that's a different color too.
It is a different color, yeah. It's a small brown, looks like.
So when you get the net, he doesn't look like he's very...
I don't know, I can try alley-ooping him. The line's plenty strong here. Usually what happens when I do this is I end up losing them, but we'll give it a try. Nope, not a problem. Not a problem.
Great.
What I'm gonna do with this guy is I'm gonna just unhook him right over the side. And I think that's gonna be our best bet here. I'm not gonna have to touch him. Just like that, and away he goes back to Davy Jones' locker. This is actually a good time to talk about the different releases that we run on the planer boards. We've got 2 different kinds on here. We got the red ones, the OR16s. This is a heavy tension release. It's hard to open. A lot of people have a difficulty opening it, and it's got a pin in it, and you have to put the line behind the pin. This release up here is called the snapper. It's an OR18, and it's a simpler device in that you put the line in, and it's just cam operated. You just close it like that. And so what most guys like the 18s, the snapper, because you can open them one-handed.
Right.
And I'm noticing that you're having a hard time opening these red ones because there's such a strong spring tension. It's cold out and you got no dexterity in your fingers.
Right.
So in cold water, I mean, the 18 here is probably going to be something that'll work better for you. Because I'll get you some of these to play with. I think you'll find that these 18 snappers are going to really make it easier for you putting your boards on and off your line.
Additional considerations provided by Striker Brands. Give Mother Nature the cold shoulder. And Bait Rigs Tackle, America's innovator of fine fishing products. Fishing 411 is also brought to you by Fishhawk Electronics, featuring Fishhawk's Catch Fish Guarantee.
When you're learning a new body of water or trying to pick it apart, Lowrance has a very cool system to being able to go back and find the pods of fish that you just went over. If you go on your screen and you just kind of back it up with your finger, you can actually go back to the pod of fish you just went over. This little school of fish we just took a fish out of, so now if you look on your plot trail, it actually shows you with an X where exactly that was. In the heat of the battle, you didn't get a waypoint put down, so you want to remember exactly where you were. Now you can go back and you can hit waypoint, and that way you have data showing exactly where you caught your fish.
You know, it couldn't be easier to rig one of these up either. All I'm going to do is just take a heavy-duty crosslock snap and attach it right to the back of the downrigger ball. So when I lift this up and put it in the water, it's going to start spinning, flashing, and attracting fish into our pattern here. Just spinning right away, and we're only just barely moving here, like 1.7. That's really slow. That's nowhere close to the speed that we would normally troll these. So we'll take it down there about 10 feet or so and let it do its work.
Here's some of the colors we've used today on the show to catch these the spring coho and brown trout here on Lake Ontario. And actually the color that's been the best is this one here. Today at least, most of the bites have come on that. The other one that's been really good is similar to this. I didn't have a second one. The other one's in the water. Is a little rainbow trout pattern. This is mother pearl black, very similar, and a popular finish. Red, we've caught some on red. This is a red with a little black tiger stripe on it. That's a good one too. Chartreuse is always good, particularly if you got a little color in the water. Low light, early morning, late evening, fire tiger finish can be really good. The second best today, so far at least, has been this gold with a red top. This is traditionally a popular finish here in the Great Lakes, and one that's available in the mag lip. And I know a lot of salmon anglers that are viewing the show go, well, good, you got a glow-in-the-dark finish? Oh yeah, we got glow-in-the-dark with a red top and glow-in-the-dark with a green top, and these are real popular here in the Great Lakes area for the deep water trolling, but also effective early and late in the day.
We're starting to figure out some stuff here. You know, we're caught enough fish now that we're getting them what I call wired or figured out. And our riggers were lighting up here. And the only reason why the riggers would be productive is because the bait's in contact with the bottom. And we were noticing that the lips on the mag lip were literally getting wore right off from hammering in the bottom. So I lengthened my leads out on my planer board lines to get them down and hammer them in the bottom. I didn't have this in the water 5 minutes since I adjusted the lead length, and bam, it's on fire again. So I think what we got to do here is we got to fish this as a structure bite. We got to pound the bottom, and I think that's going to continue to be more productive for us. So a little harder on the baits, but they're getting bit steady on. I'm very impressed, Buzz, with these mag lips. That's beautiful brown right there. Yeah. That might be the biggest fish of the morning so far.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fish we came to see right there. Love them. Love these brown trout. We just don't get these back home. This is more than worth the price of admission here.
Got to raise the brim of the hat so I can see the net.
There he comes. He's got one good side. Yeah. Looks like the lamprey did him in pretty good. Whoa, look at that. That's more representative of what we're looking for. And this is the kind of brown trout that'll get anybody's blood pressure pumping. I love them. All right. We'll come back and see you about this time next year. The other cool thing about this episode is we got a chance to play with some new product. We got to use the 3.0 mag lip. It's a brand new size of the mag lip. And you got to understand, we've been using the 3.5 for some time and the 4.5 for some time, but the smaller version we use today is ideally suited to these little spring cohos and the brown trout, and I think it's going to be a great steelhead bait too. Last but not least, we got a chance to break in a brand new boat today. We got a Starwell 20 Pro, which is a new boat for Starcraft. Very first time I've ever had one, first time we had one on the water, and I'll tell you what, how can you beat a limit of cohos and browns? That's a great start. Oh yeah, he's a jumper too.
It's a beautiful fish right there, a little football.
Yeah.
He liked the rainbow trout version's the one he liked.
Apparently alewives are a good diet for brown trout. Look how thick they are. My name is Mark Romanack. You've been watching Fishing 411. I'd like to thank Buzz Ramsey for sharing some of his infinite wisdom in catching trout and salmon. Hey, we hope to see you here same time, same place next week. This guy's going back.
Closed captioning is provided by Orca Coolers, built for everyday use and total abuse. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, your leader in trolling technology. Jay's Sporting Goods, trust in the tradition. Yakima Bait, home of the rooster tail. Cisco Fishing Systems, fish the finest. Northwest Ontario Tourism Association, there's no place like this. Starcraft Marine, America's oldest aluminum fishing boat line. Evinrude Outboards, introducing the all-new Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard of the future, available today. Maxima Fishing Lines, the right line every time.
One fish pass is not all that great. I mean, when I start seeing 2 or 3 hookups at a time, then I'm thinking we've got a school of
Really,
fishing.
really into them.
So I think we got some scattered fish that just happen to be in this location. So it wouldn't break my heart if we left.
Yeah.
But I want it to be your decision.
Thanks a lot.
There you go.